ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patrick Hertzog. Patrick, thank you. Good to have you here.
So, good morning, everybody. Maybe just to start, a question for you. Who has ever heard about NEXTHINK before today? Yeah, a couple of people, not bad. And who of you knows, maybe of the people who just answered, who of you knows what NEXTHINK does? Yeah, so maybe it's good that I do a small introduction about NEXTHINK. So our mission at NEXTHINK is to delight people at work. And we do this by selling software to large corporations to help their IT departments to improve the digital lives of the digital experience of their employees. So what does that mean, and why is that important? So who of you is using a computer at work? Yeah, I guess everybody, of course. And who of you is sometimes struggling with the computer and IT in general because the computer is slow, it takes a long time to boot, applications are crashing, and so on and so forth? Yeah, many people as well. Well, you are not alone. There was a study that has shown that, on average, employees lose 22 minutes per day due to IT issues. And you know, the worst part is that, in most cases, the IT departments don't even know it. And you know, nowadays, with the COVID, when many people are working from home, things get even worse. So this is really a problem, and this is a problem for the employees, of course, and this is a problem for the companies as well. So for the employees, it's really frustrating. People want to be productive when they are working, and they are losing a lot of time, and they feel miserable. For the companies, it costs a lot of money. So 22 minutes per day per employee, it's about 2 weeks per year per employee of work, of productivity that is lost. So that represents a big amount of money. I'll let you do the math if you have 50,000 employees, the amount of productivity that is lost due to the IT issues. And I'm not even counting all the money needed to fix all these issues. Also, companies want their employees to be happy at work because they know very well that if your employees are happy, they are most likely to stay in the company. And also, all companies have now noticed that if you have happy employees, you will get, at the end, happier customers. So today at NEXTHINK, we are proud to make more than 10 million people happier at work across more than 1,000 customers worldwide. To achieve this, we are today around 600 employees located in 9 different offices. Well, actually, today people are more working from home. But we have 9 offices. We have 2 headquarters, one in Lausanne, that's our historical headquarters, and another one in Boston in the US. On the more financial side, we have raised today a bit more than $150 million of funding. And last year, we reached the milestone of selling for more than $100 million in one single year. So a success like this, it's not only thanks to having a great product, it's thanks to having great sales, great marketing, great support, great legal, great HR, great everything. It's also thanks to having a good timing on the market, and of course, also thanks to a bit of luck. But today, I will focus on more the product side. So how do you shape a digital product for success, and what is a successful product? So first, a successful product has 3 main characteristics. So the first one, the product has to be obviously feasible. You could have the best idea in the world, but if you cannot make it work, it's a bit pointless. The second is it has to be viable. You need to make money out of your product. So it is all about How much does it cost to build your product, to run your product, how many customers you need, how much you need to sell it. And last but not least, your product has to be desirable. Does anyone need your product? Even more importantly, does even anyone want your product? And you know, this difference between needing and wanting is quite significant. And let me illustrate that with a very short example. So let's say you need to carry your laptop to an important meeting. Maybe you're meeting an important customer or meeting the CEO of an important company. And the product that I'm proposing you for that purpose, to carry your laptop, is this awesome brown paper bag. So does that product cover your needs? Yes, it does. Of course, you can carry your laptop with that bag. But do you want it? Well, maybe not. So successful products are usually products that people not only need, but that people want as well. So how do you shape a product how do you create a product to be successful so it meets this characteristic? Well, it's very straightforward. You have a beautiful idea, you create the perfect product, you ship it, and then you sell it. Does it work that way? Well, sometimes from outside it looks like it's very straightforward, but in reality it's more something like this. So the key is that you have to iterate as fast as possible, version after version, and improve your product based on the feedback you may get from your customers, from your users, based on the market, based on different opportunities, and so on and so forth. So now, if we zoom a little bit in and we look at one of these iterations. So you start a new iteration, so maybe you're just starting your product or you're starting a new version. You will face different alternatives. You could do this or you could do that. You could do it that way or you could do it this way. So how do you take these decisions? How do you choose which alternative it's better to implement, to create? How do you evaluate all these alternatives? Also, you know, when we are creating a product, the product is a bit like our baby. So we always want to make it even more perfect all the time. We could still before shipping, adding something, a new feature, improving something. But you know, at some point, you have to ship your product. So also, when is it good enough to be shipped? In other words, what is a good product design? So I'm going to explain you a framework that I'm using to evaluate all these alternatives and to help me take the right decisions. So this framework is based on 5 criteria. So basically, you want to evaluate your product or your different alternatives based on these 5 criteria. So let's review them one by one. So the first one is the usefulness of your product. So does your product solve your user problem? Because of course, when you create something is to help users doing something, is to solve one of their problems. You could have a beautiful product that is very, very easy to use, but if it doesn't really solve the user problem, well, it's kind of pointless at the end. So all of these criteria that I will be showing you, they are never binary. They are not black or white. There's more like some shades of grays. So it's not that your product is totally useless or completely useful. It's always somewhere in between. So the second criterion is the ease of learn. So how easily will users learn to use your product? Sometimes they will require a lot of training. Sometimes it will be totally intuitive, and they will be able to use it directly from day one. The third criterion is the ease of use. So how easily or efficiently can users use your product? You know, sometimes your user may have to accomplish a task dozens of times a day. So if every time it's very complicated, it requires a lot of clicks, at the end, it's not efficient for them. The fourth criterion is what I call the coolness. So I strongly believe that if you want to provide a delightful experience to your users, you need to bring in your product some level of coolness. It's all linked to, to emotions, to emotional aspects of the user experience. The last one, and not the least, is the quickness to ship. Basically, when can you ship your product? And this one is oftentimes overlooked. So your mission when you create a product is, as we said before, is to solve your user's problem. So your mission is not accomplished when you have a beautiful design or a great product. Your mission is accomplished when your solution, your product, is in the user's hand. So you have to ship it at some point. It's fundamental to realize that every day before the product is shipped is a day when your users can solve their problem. Every day before the product is shipped is a day when your users may choose an alternative solution from your competitors. Every day before the product is shipped is a day when your competitors may come closer to you or even surpass you. And finally, every day before the product is shipped is a day where you're not working on bringing even more value to your users or solving more problems for them. So it's very important. We need to ship the product as soon as possible. So this time to ship, it encompasses two things. It encompasses the time to design, to create the product, and of course also the time to implement, to create, to build the product itself. And it's also important to balance, I would say, the short-term versus the long-term cost. Sometimes you have an alternative that is very quick to ship right now, but you know in advance that it will cost you a lot later because you will have to redo things. So that's also a factor to keep in mind. So these were my 5 criteria. So what is a good product design? So the perfect product would be a product where you maximize all these 5 criteria. So basically, if I evaluate that product and I display that on a radar chart, it would look something like this. So everything is perfect. Well, unfortunately, that's definitely not possible. The key is that you have to find the right trade-off. And the right trade-off, it will depend on your situation, it will depend on your industry, it will depend on different factors, as we will see in a second. Sometimes the choice is pretty clear and pretty easy. So for instance, here I have evaluation of let's say two alternatives for my product. So for me, it's quite obvious that the one on the right is better. That would be the one that I would choose, because most of the criteria are much better than the one on the left, even if it will take a little bit longer to ship. Sometimes the choice decision is not as obvious as it is as this one. So if we take the next example, this one. So in this one, I would favor the one, most probably the one on the left, because this one is much cheaper to ship. It will take much less time to ship. Even if the other criteria are a little bit less good, I still value that it has more value for me to bring it on the market and get the feedback from the users as soon as possible. So these were kind of 2 abstract examples. So before I finished, let's play a little game all together and try to evaluate some alternatives. And for this, I have 2 cases. So the first case, let's say that you are developing an application for lab technicians in a hospital. You know, lab technicians, they are doing a lot of medical analysis, testing your blood and whatnot. And after they get the result, they have to enter them in a computer system. And they have to do that a lot every day. So you're developing an application for these people, and you end up with having 2 alternatives. We have solution A on the left, and solution B on the right. I'll let you a few seconds to think about it, and then you will be able to vote. OK, so who thinks that solution A is better? Okay, a couple of people. Who think solution B is better? Way more people. Well, actually, I would choose solution A, because solution A is much easier to use. Remember, these people are entering the test result a lot of time every day. So you want something that is very easy to use, very efficient for them. Even if solution A is much more difficult to learn, it's OK. These people are professional people that can be trained on that system. So now we can do it again with the second case. Let's say that you are participating to a hackathon. Does it sound familiar to anybody here? Yeah, maybe. So you're participating to a hackathon, you're developing an application, whatever, and you face these two alternatives, solution A and solution B. You know the drill. I'll let you a couple of seconds. So who would choose solution A? Couple of people. Solution B? Yes, that's the majority. Right. I would also choose solution B. Why that? I mean, you are in a hackathon. Your time is probably limited. You want to show something very fast. So I would favor something that is very quick to ship. And also, I would favor something that is pretty cool, because in a hackathon, you want to impress a jury, and there is a lot of emotional part in that thing. So you want to impress. So I would favor the coolness as well for this situation. OK, so before I finish, here is a few takeaways from my presentation. So first, creating a product that is successful is definitely hard, that's for sure. Quick iterations allow you to learn, adjust, and fix mistakes. The mission is to solve a user problem. So it's not accomplished before the solutions, the product, is in the user's hand. So you have to ship it. And finally, the key is to find the right trade-off. So thank you very much. If NEXTHINK sounds interesting for you and could be a next career move, we are hiring a lot of people. So don't hesitate to check our website for all information. We are looking for people in the engineering, product, and many other departments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I want to take that challenge back to you. You've got two products here, okay? You've got two products. They're equally functional, okay? Which one do you choose?
Well,
I know it's a tough choice, right?
I would need both, but I would want this one.
You want this one?
Yes, exactly.
But this one's quicker to ship.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes it depends on the situation.
It's true. Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We have time for just a handful of questions. Actually, we have a couple of minutes for questions. Is anybody working on a new product that they're not sure whether they should ship? Is anybody working on a new product? Who has an existing product?
Who is walking?
Exactly. Exactly. At this point, I think it's always the attention test in that sense. But no, thank you very much. So I think a lot of what you mentioned, also in terms of the hackathon, will be relevant because I think design is something that is very hard to get right, and what looks simple is often very difficult to do.
That's great.
So thank you very much in that sense, and you'll be around for questions.
Yeah, I will still be here for a few minutes for sure.
Feel free to chat around a little bit after this. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Guys, round of applause.